Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto Market Update. Today is July 2nd, 2024. I'm your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. You know, I just finished a private one-on-one mentoring session with one of our longtime subscribers, and we talked about a lot of great things, and it really got me thinking about what I want to convey. You know, often when I'm doing these market reports, I have a tendency to get really focused on the technical aspects of the market, and sometimes I forget to talk about the trading fundamentals and the real life of a trader. And as someone who trading did not come easy to me, I struggled for 3 years to turn a profit, and then things were pretty good after that. And when I finally put together a strategy, but I understand what it's like to struggle. And I understand that crypto makes it so much harder because there's all this hodl mentality and buy and hold mentality and this altcoin dispersion. There's 100,000 coins to pick from now, and everyone's really emotionally charged all the time. And not that that's dramatically different from the stock market or the Forex market. Everybody's a know-it-all or everybody's a coward. It's all about clout. It's very confusing, and it's really easy to lose your bearings. So, public service announcement. No one can predict when the market cycle is going to reverse. No one can accurately determine what the trajectory of future price is going to be. That's not what real trading or investment is. Real trading, for me anyways, is putting together a system where you can identify the probability of certain repeatable technical signals in the market. Once you can determine high probability areas that you should trade into and what direction you should trade in, you can set yourself up with discipline and risk management to make that profitable. Technical analysis is not what makes you profitable. Discipline and position sizing, which is risk management, is what makes you profitable. It's being able to be patient and wait for your signals, and then once a signal comes in, to allocate the correct amount of capital to it. That's how you make money as a trader. And that's why it's so difficult for most people to make money trading. It's not because they can't trade, it's because they don't have discipline and they don't understand risk management. They over leverage, they over position, they revenge trade, they want to get rich quick. You're not going to get rich quick doing this, guys. You're not going to get rich quick. I know you see these Twitter accounts turning 10K into 100K or $200 into $1 million, whatever it is. You're not going to do that. Those people who are doing that, that's not their first trading account, okay? I've done similar challenges, but first and foremost, you have to become a good profitable trader, and the only way you do that is over time. It takes time, okay? For most people, it takes 1 to 5 years, okay? It's a process, and I'm constantly learning and constantly growing. So if you think you're gonna get rich quick, you're in the wrong place. But if you wanna learn how to trade profitably, let's get cracking. Bitcoin's daily chart is relatively interesting today. Yesterday, we did close a shooting star candle. That is typically a reversal pattern. It's kind of a take on a doji where we have a small candle body and a long wick to the upside, often after a bullish movement. And today we are closing a bearish engulfing candle. None of these candles are particularly strong, but this would be a morning star pattern, which is typically a reversal pattern, where we would expect to see prices come down. Now, I'm not overly concerned about this. As I've said, I've made my base case very clear. I do feel that the most probable thing is that we hold these lows, consolidate, and begin to push for the top of the range, closer to $70,000. So what we're seeing here is consolidation and potentially a failed breakout. True confirmation for the bullish trend will come if we, as I have said multiple times, close strongly above $64,000. That's currently where my indicator is to flip to the long side. Time transformation is crossing into the upside, and we can just see this is just weak volume right now, relatively non-directional. Big movements from traders haven't come. We have now broken to the upside out of this tight inside bar range. So it would be nice to see if we can hold these closing highs down here around 61,758. But that's just from a technical level. We'll see in more granular detail on the footprint chart and when we look at the liquidation heat map where price is more likely than not to go. Zooming out at the big picture, again, we are potentially forming a symmetrical triangle consolidation pattern that would tend to historically break to the upside of the prevailing trend. That would also be in line with our market cycle. I've done lots of on-chain analysis, and I'll be diving deep into this for all of the Trading Academy members tomorrow when we do our deep dives into the technicals and the on-chain data behind the charts to actually prove and give data to our fundamental biases. We're on the cusp of the euphoria phase. We are on the cusp of breaking out and seeing the phase where prices appreciate rapidly Altcoins are most likely in a good position to begin scooping up right now. However, I would want to see confirmation that Bitcoin has bounced strongly off its bottom before going back into altcoins heavily right now. We of course have our early weekly warning signs. The trend has shifted for the first time in this bullish market into consolidation / potential bearishness, increasing sell volume that we did see here as we approach the bottoms on futures, but we have been declining over the last 2 weeks. And of course, we are still holding our weekly 21 exponential moving average as support quite well, and we are holding in the bottom shelf of our high volume node. Again, we could expect to see wicks down here into the low volume node shelf, just as we saw with this, but for this pattern to be confirmed and for us to feel quite good about, bullish consolidation and a bounce of here from the bottoms, we do need to see this low hold. All I know is that if this low does break, some people are going to be screaming buy the dip, all this and that. All I'll know is that we'll be in a bearish trend, and when we're in a bearish trend, I will be shorting until I see signs that the bearish trend has ended. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. All of this left-hand cycle, if we go to 74, we'll go down, but if we go down to 45, we'll go up. Nobody knows, man. They're just trying to sell you a story, and there's nothing wrong with selling a story. I love to go to the movie theater. I love a good novel, but it's not going to make you money, okay? Stick to the fundamentals. That's what makes you money. The hourly is pretty telling here. Of course, we had a nice bullish breakout here, as I talked about in yesterday's update. We did form a double top formation yesterday, and then we did get rejection and a breakdown following a lower high. We've now had 1, 2, 3 successive lower highs, and we are attempting to grind out this current support at about $62,000. I had taken some long positions and attempted to swing on 62,000. I have closed those out now. I do want to see price break back above 62.8 before I start swinging to the long side. If we break 62.8, feel pretty confident that we will head for the liquidation cluster at 64,000. We'll see that in more granularity when we look at the liquidation heat map and when we look at the footprint chart here in a little bit. But overall, that's where I'm at for Bitcoin. We've been in this nice bearish trend basically for the majority of today. New York sold, Asia Pacific sold, Europe sold, so it's just been pretty bearish today. But again, if we can hold these previous highs, which we are currently just basically retesting the previous range highs, and we get a nice bounce, it would be a nice advance. Pullback, So in summary, we do need to generate some bullish momentum above 62,800 to be flipping the hourly trend and to make our odds of reaching up to about 64,000 as a first stop much higher. We can see from the liquidation heat map here, this double top that we saw, clearing a lot of short liquidity on these drives up. And then of course, longs became the target. This is exactly what I predicted yesterday, honestly. Longs became the target for liquidations, and we ground the short liquidation level. Tried to make an attempt to go up here and clear short liquidations, but didn't quite make it. So I would expect that, as I said, if we're not able to make that strong push above 62,800 and clear the short liquidation and keep going, because we now have a lot of short open interest right now, most likely we are going to come down here and test long liquidations at 61,300 before we can V-bottom and make any kind of significant progress to the upside. Footprint chart basically just confirms everything that I've just said. Here we can see the nice double top that we saw, sweeping some large ask imbalances from the previous area of the market all the way back over here. On this bullish drive, we swept all these aggressive ask imbalances, clearing liquidity and filling large limit orders basically throughout this range, just to underneath 64,000 at our current high of about 63,854. And then we just had this nice bearish trend that we've been in. You can see that aggressive buys came in here, kind of marking the top. And we have had some aggressive asks come in here, here, and here, around 62,200, around 62,250, and around 62,500. So we have a lot of short liquidation clusters right here, which is exactly kind of where I was targeting in the short term. We didn't quite make it to my target, so I closed out 2 break-even long trades. I picked up at 6,200. Not quite break-even. I mean, I made a little bit on them, but I set limit bids at 62. And then ended up taking profit here after I saw this aggressive ask imbalance. But so far on the hourly, we haven't been able to clear these aggressive ask imbalances. We'll see. I would be very cautious of a reversal at this point in time. But again, if we can clear 64,800, then that would be pretty good and a good sign of momentum to the upside. Looking down here, again, we can see that long liquidation cluster around 61,629 on Bybit. We have the liquidations more strongly focused at 61,300 on Binance, and we can see that there are aggressive bid imbalances there. So things do look pretty dicey if we do end up breaking down from this low. Most likely certainly going to sweep some of these aggressive bid imbalances. There will be likely opportunities. Just wait for an extreme. You want to see an extreme of volume. You want to see an extreme of candle before potentially taking before considering taking a reversal position to the upside. Ethereum remains in its current kind of bearish consolidation. We haven't been able to make much progress. Very similar chart pattern to Bitcoin here, with a consolidation and a little bit of a weak morning star pattern following a shooting star, rejection from the Gann baseline right here. Volume delta does show that, of course, sellers stepped in today. Time transformation is peaking into the bullish control zone, so we are on the cusp of a nice breakout. If Ethereum can get up here and close above 3,500 real strongly, then we'll be looking sitting pretty. We'll be in a nice bullish trend. We can see DPMO start to diverge a little bit. All right, you can see it starting to thin down just a little bit, and its angle and slope is starting to decrease, which is for me always a warning, early warning sign of a potential reversal to the long side for my strategy. But right now we're just consolidating, so waiting for that breakout on Ethereum. BNB, very similar situation, trying to break out of this descending channel. We've got a nice pullback here at this point in time. So again, failed breakout, pullback, generally a nice time to enter on the retest. That's the BPR break, pullback, retest. But again, BNB would enter a bullish trend above 596. Solana is doing really well. Solana just flipped into a long signal as of yesterday on the Gann. So we're in our second day, 2 days ago. So we're in our second day of moving here to the upside. I had been watching this cluster, this low volume node shelf on the volume profile very closely. This is actually where I was going to be looking to enter short. So I'll wait to see what the reaction is. As we can see here, Solana, it has been respecting this long-term trend line, but it just broke down from. So the play is looking to see if we wick up into the low volume node, grab liquidity, reject from the trend line, which would be confirmation that we have failed to reclaim and that we're likely entering into a more bearish trend for Solana. But if we can successfully reclaim and trade within the trend line that we've been following for pretty much this entire cycle, and then that would be a very good sign. That would be a very good sign that we could actually push and potentially make a higher high and retest the long-term trend line. Otherwise, if we reject from here, it'll just be another lower high, and we will likely be moving down to, in the short term, you know, back to the 120s to retest this low volume node shelf, and again, finding eventual support and consolidation around 90 to 100. XRP, we're looking for breakouts above 48, 49 cents. Not really any momentum has been generated from XRP, our nice stable coin here. Dogecoin still bearish trend. TON doing very well. TON maintaining its daily uptrend, pushing up very nicely. All right, you guys can see the value area. This is actually not just a value area. This is where I'd like to target for shorts. So it's kind of where I want to target if I ever do see a trend reversal here, but we're nowhere near overbought. Things are looking pretty good for TON. We do have resistance coming up around $8.20, so we'll see if TON can break and continue to climb above that. This is a nice big bullish candle, and we do see sell side delta, so there were more aggressive sellers on this candle, so potentially an early warning sign. We are very close to resistance. I would definitely be booking some profits on any short-term trades from buying the dip here on TON. Cardano, looking really good. I can't say any more than that, or the Academy members will be mad at me. Shiba Inu does not look very good. We could see we've got some nice consolidation here, and TT has generated some momentum following this buy signal, and we do have some regular bullish divergence. So I could see SHIB potentially pushing up to about 1902, and then we'll reevaluate. Avalanche just on the cusp of breaking out, but could not quite do it. If we get a bearish cross under at this point in time, then we're likely going to dip back down and retest liquidity at around $26. Tron is flying. I don't know. I think the red button's broken on TRN, but nice big long-term double bottom, and we are now breaking the neckline on the daily time frame. I ain't gonna say more than that, you know what I mean? Chainlink on the verge of flipping into a bullish trend, not quite there yet. Polkadot has flipped. We are good. We could see the value area right here. My value area stretches from about $8 to $12. That's typically where we've always wanted to take profit on Polkadot. Value area, value area, value area, value area. Polkadot is a beautiful range trading asset. So Uniswap, not any bullish momentum yet. And near on the cusp of a trend flip, but just not quite there yet. The last coin I guess we'll look at is going to be Matic. And again, we are generating some consolidation right here. But we do need to flip and break about 60 cents for us to be pretty bullish here. Nice buy side delta here though, all right? And DPMO has flipped, all right? So again, early warning sign on Matic. Matic would be really good above 60 cents. Or 59 cents. 59 cents would be good. All right, I hope you've enjoyed the quick crypto market update and rundown out there, guys. Big picture here, of course, Bitcoin is perched kind of on the knife's edge. We do have some strong signals that now is the back the truck up moment for Bitcoin. We're at the production cost oscillator. We're at the production cost indicator, excuse me. We've never closed below that. And again, we're in a prevailing bullish trend and we're at the bottom of the range. So you would expect price to go up to the top. That's just fundamental technical trading. Manage your risk appropriately though, all right? Manage your risk appropriately. If we are going to break into the euphoria phase, okay, then you're gonna have plenty of time to DCN on the way up. Get some starter positions in and set clear stop losses. We do not want to see Bitcoin's weekly candle close below last week's low. Cannot happen, or we're gonna be in a bearish trend. And yes, maybe, we just come down for a week and shoot back up, but I don't like to play on maybes like that. I just know that when we break key critical levels, you want to trade in that direction. All right, that's going to be the new dominant direction of the market. All right, so maybe we dip down to 50 and bounce back up. Maybe we dip down to 40, bounce back up. Maybe we dip down to 30 and then consolidate and then, break out. So it's whatever, right? Nobody can predict that stuff, neither can I. I'm not going to try and sell you a story on top of the story that I've already tried to sell you. Altcoins, also, if we look at the alt season indicator, are in that high value area to bid up. So again, starter positions here are fine. We are starting to see some recovery from some of the majors. That is a good sign to see. Just remember that you can DCA in on the way up and you don't have to go all in right now because things could still go down. So get your starter positions in, dip your feet back into the market if you're feeling like things are recovering and if you're feeling bullish, but don't go all in. Wait until some of this fear and wait until some of this uncertainty is past us. Wait until some of that doubt has left your mind for the triple threat of FUD. I will be back tomorrow. As always, guys, just remember, you don't have to go at this alone. We are launching the Crypto Trading Academy next week, where I've poured all of my knowledge, all of my wisdom, and all of my time into our group members. They receive daily updates, as well as all of my trade setups, in addition to our weekly mentoring sessions, where I connect personally with them and see where they're at. You guys do not have to go at this crypto market alone. Don't be like me. I spent 3 years struggling, not letting anybody in. You don't have to be like that. All right. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support what we're doing. And of course, official links to everything you could possibly need are down in the description and in the pinned comment. Thanks, guys. Trade safely, and I'll see you in the next one.